Innovation in NVIDIA means looking at our customers' experiences, understanding those experiences really well, and looking for opportunities to make them not just a little bit better, but really meaningfully better. If you're not going to take risks, you're not going to be able to innovate. So you have to have a culture that supports that idea of being willing to take some risks. Taking risks can be taken a lot of different ways, right? There's taking responsible risk, and then there's taking too much risk or irresponsible risk, or risks that you didn't think out deeply enough when you were in the process of building a design. And we've certainly encountered all those sorts of problems over the years at NVIDIA in different ways in different projects that we've worked on. And one of the things we've invested in over the years is having good processes for knowing how to take risk in a project. One of the first ones is in any project is the idea of having a pilot in command and making sure that all through the project that risky aspect is being managed well. We're careful about how many risks we take in a project, because the more risks you have, it dilutes the team's attention to any one of them. And a third thing is being very careful about reviewing all along the way. Knowing how to take that risk responsibly and successfully is really key, I think, to what NVIDIA's been able to accomplish over the years.
Speed and agility at NVIDIA are extremely important. We need to be very efficient at what we do, and we need to be extremely fast at what we do. And so obviously speed, by definition, sounds like that. But in terms of how fast we go, we need to make sure that we are going as fast as possible, or what we like to call speed of light. Some might call that impossible. And so even if it's not possible to achieve the speed of light, the goal is to know how close we're coming to it, so that we know if we're going fast from a competitor standpoint, and know how you're doing or how your team is doing, so that if you're approaching the finish line, your competitor's not going to be racing down past you and you're wondering how they got there. And so if you're really good at knowing how fast you can go and what it takes to do that, speed can be an incredible weapon for yourself, and it can be used to go past your competitors. Things change all the time. Either the project changes or competitive landscape changes. And so by being very good at agility, we basically won't care if we change a project's definition. We won't care if we change the scope of a project, if we change an engineer's task on the project. So many times we're shifting teams around, we're shifting people around, we're shifting project definitions around for basically achieving the common goal of being very fast and very agile and doing whatever it takes to win at NVIDIA.
Intellectual honesty is all about being really self-critical. And when you're really self-critical, that means that you're always analyzing your mistakes, admitting that when you made mistakes, and always trying to improve. And what it leads to is, as a group, getting the right answer versus trying to be right all the time. Intellectual honesty goes hand in hand with having a winning attitude, because if you're working to win like a professional athlete, then you're constantly trying to improve your game. And if you're constantly trying to improve your game, you're never satisfied with how well you're playing. One of the best examples of intellectual honesty in my career here at NVIDIA had to do with when we launched NV30, which was called GeForce 5800.
Gentlemen, the GeForce FX is the most powerful graphics card on the planet.
Absolutely.
The resulting product was very loud and had a kind of a high-pitched shrill to it. And it was immediately panned by the community. We immediately decided that the best thing for us to do would be to admit to the world that we goofed up. And we released this video to the world, poking fun at ourselves about a stupid mistake we made.
Right? Yeah, I really think we're onto something. I can feel the rumble of the engines right here.
The community turned around and they looked at it and they said, hey, NVIDIA gets it. That, I think, is one of the best examples of intellectual honesty, because it didn't just touch within NVIDIA, but it also touched our users.
It's refreshing, like that first cup of coffee in the morning.
I think intellectual honesty is one of our values that's sometimes misunderstood. I think it's okay to have a passionate argument about a business problem or an engineering problem, and that's okay, but it's not okay to attack people. That's not what intellectual honesty is about. So admitting when you make a mistake is sometimes hard for people, and I think it turns out that it's a lot easier than people think.
But do you think for, I don't know, maybe a few of the people out there that it's too noisy? Nah, ship it.
Excitement attracts really top talent. Top talent creates wonderful ideas, a lot of gross margin, and an opportunity to invest again. The fact that excellence is so much a part of our culture, we never stop at a standard benchmark. We would rather have a very unique product that only very special people buy than have the Me Too product that is in every household. If you go in to talk to Jensen, you know you're going to get the question, okay, I know what you said you can do, and that's okay, I can accept that, but what's the very best it could be? And that's deeply part of our culture, whether you call it excellence or high standards, it generates the way we think and the way we answer all our questions. I think what's really special about NVIDIA is the fact that we do strive to be the best at whatever we do. We chase what's important in the market, and we just strive to be the very best at that. It's not really important where we end up, but wherever we end up, we are going to be excellent at that spot.
One of NVIDIA's core values is the concept of one team, that we're all in this together, that we'll win or lose together. In many ways, it means the absence of politics. It means the absence of selfishness. The one team concept really helps us be more nimble. The more agile you can be, and the quicker you can adjust your own internal priorities to match the external ones, I think that's going to determine future business success. Another thing that makes NVIDIA so great is there's not one department that needs to carry the day for the company to succeed. You know, if the hardware is late, then software, will find a way to increase performance through better code, better drivers, or marketing will come up with some new campaign. Whatever it is, there's not a single functional group in NVIDIA that isn't a potential weapon that we can deploy, almost at a moment's notice to help us in the marketplace. That willingness of every group to be ready for when they're called on is another one of those things that really changed NVIDIA from just a company to a really special place to work.